Welcome everyone to Culture Report. Today we're going to talk about everyone's favorite topic, the 7 principles of becoming a millionaire. But before we do that, don't forget to hit the subscribe button, but most importantly, hit the notification bell so you can be alerted of any new content. Let's get to it. Now, there are 7 principles that we're going to cover today, and they not only work, but they've worked for me. So I want to show you guys how I've implemented them and how you can do the same for yourselves. So let's jump into number 1. Number 1 is adding more value than anyone else and becoming more valuable than anyone else. More specifically, what that means is not only becoming a master at your craft, but becoming a student. What I mean by a student is learning it more in depth than anyone else in your circle, in your space. The reason why that's important is because when you try to sell anything or when you try to sell yourself, the more you know about the topic, the more people will trust you and want to do business with you and want to engage with you. Now that's important because if I'm doing business with someone, I want the best person in that category to represent me. Helping other people should be your number 1 priority, not helping yourself. Once people feel like you care, then they want to work with you. Caring for others is one of the most important things you can do, not only for your business, but also for your peace of mind. Now, last thing I want to mention about this is that if you feel that you're the number 1 person in the equation, then you're wrong. You have to make your client number 1. If your client feels special and they feel like you've put them in a special place, they're going to not only want to continue doing business with you, but they're also going to want to refer you other people so you can do business with them. So if any opportunity you get, always make your client feel like they're number 1. Principle number 2 is solving big problems. If you want to make big money, you have to look for big problems to solve. Now, for instance, there's a lot of people who do this on a regular basis. They create businesses around issues that exist either in their space or just in the world in general. So if you're not the type of person to be creative enough to come up with a big solution for a big problem, then find solutions that are already in place that could be improved upon. So for instance, if you're in the car business and you don't like the way that cars are being sold, maybe you can create an app that can help people with the purchasing of a vehicle without all the hassle. So there's just better ways of doing things and you just have to keep your eyes open. One great saying that I heard is that every single problem is a business opportunity. So if you find yourself coming into problems all the time in the space that you work in, hey, never know, that might be your next big business opportunity. Principle number 3, structure, systems, and automation. What structure allows you to do is have management in place, which takes you away from having to do all the mundane things and micromanaging other people once you start to grow. Obviously in the beginning you have to wear many hats and do all of the roles, but you quickly have to transition that as you start becoming profitable. Now systems are what make the ordinary extraordinary. Once you develop a system for your business, then the sky's the limit. You can either make production your goal or you can make quality your goal, but without a system in place, that's going to be very difficult. Now, automation is going to allow you to scale. Once you start automating a lot of the mundane things that get done on a daily basis, it'll also help your staff and it'll help your crew become more efficient as well, and they're helping your business. Principle number 4 is a really important one, which is failing. Failing is part of the equation. You have to understand that if you don't fail, you're not going to get to the next level. Failing needs to become a routine process which allows you not only to learn from your mistakes, but also an opportunity for you to be able to do things better next time. Now, if you don't like failure, you're not alone. A lot of people who fail end up getting out of the business that they're in. So that is actually a good thing for you, because if you have the right mindset and you're looking to the final end goal and you're not getting bombarded with these failures as being the last hurrah for yourself, you're gonna make it. You're gonna be able to get to where you wanna go, but you have to start embracing your failures. You have to start failing faster, and you have to be able to look for the next failure and say, you know what, that failure is just temporary. I'm gonna learn and I'm gonna move away. A great story I heard is that Kobe Bryant, the great Kobe Bryant, he never looked at failure as something that we be frowned upon. He looked at a failure as an opportunity to grow and get better. So take a page out of Kobe's book and just fail faster. Principle number 5 is surrounding yourself around the right people. Now, if your crew is constantly talking about how bad the economy is or how negative the world is, you're going to end up being the same way. You want to make sure that you're around people who are always being uplifting, people who are going to support you, not people who are going to be intimidated by your success. Next, once you start hiring people, make sure you hire the right kind of staff. You need to hire people with goals. You need to hire people with ambition, and make sure that they're passionate about what they're doing. There's nothing worse than having an employee that you put into a position just because they're looking for employment. You have to make sure that they're looking at the bigger picture and they want to see themselves grow and the company grow as well. And lastly, don't forget to start isolating mentors. Start finding people who are where you want to be and just take pages out of their book and just start to model the things that they've done and learn from their mistakes. That is a quick path for you to get yourself into the position you want to be, not only in the near future, but ultimately wherever you want to end up. Principle number 6, taking action and risk. Yes, taking action is probably one of the most important principles on our list. Now, motivation could have been on there too, but what people don't understand about motivation is that motivation is nothing unless you couple it with taking action. Taking action is one of the most important principles, but most people get stuck at just preparing, and then procrastinating and not taking the action necessary in order to reach their goals. If people took more action than they did preparation, they would be in a totally different position. Now, you might see a lot of people who are successful taking action rather quickly. You don't see them overthinking anything. Most people that are successful, they know the information that they're given, they research what they need to research, and then the decision is made and they move on. Now, I know what you may be thinking. Isn't that risky? Yes, it could be risky, but risk is part of being in business and becoming successful. Now, risk can also be mitigated by doing the proper research, asking the right people, and having those mentors in your life that have been through those problems before and have overcome them. So make sure that you not only take these risks, but you also take the time to research what you're doing and make that decision and take action today. Last but not least, principle number 7, acknowledging your gifts and becoming self-aware. Now, you may not find this in many other lists anywhere else, but it's important for you to understand that you need to work on what gifts you've already been given. Sometimes we find ourselves taking other people's paths. You might find yourself having to go to college and doing the major your parents want you to do, or maybe you take a career choice because your friend is in that and he's successful or she's successful, and you find yourself wanting to do the same. Now, keep in mind, if we make money our objective, a lot of times we're not going to be happy. But if we look deep inside and we look at what we love doing, what our passions are, and we make that our centerpiece, we will find ourselves in not only a happier space, but the funny thing about that is that the money will soon catch up to what you're passionate about. I found myself down this crossroad many times, and I always circle back to what I love doing the most. I love helping people. I love educating, and I love being in and around real estate. So I've made those my objectives, and I've become successful because of that. If you're not sure about what you're good at, you can always ask a good friend and ask people who are not yes men or yes women who just tell you what you want to hear. Find the most honest person around you and ask them, hey, what am I good at? What am I terrible at? And instead of trying to work on the things that you're bad at, why don't you spend time on becoming the best at what you're already good at? And the things that you're not so good at, guess what? You can always delegate those things. The most successful people I've seen in this world don't master everything. Warren Buffett doesn't even check his emails. There's people in this world who don't do the things that you're doing every day, but there's people who find what they're great at and they just do that. So that's principle number 7, which I feel is probably the most important place and probably the number 1 place where you should start before thinking about becoming a millionaire. And now let's dig deeper. I know what you're thinking. Money is the root of all evil. Well, you're partly correct. 1 Timothy 6:10 actually says, for the love of money is the root of all evil. What do I mean by that? Is that you cannot make money your center focus. A good friend of mine once told me, if you start chasing the money starts running. So what I mean is that you need to be able to feel like you can help humanity, you can help others with the gain of money. The reason why you probably don't have as much money as you would like to have is because you're not a good steward of your money. What I mean by that is that you're not taking care of the things that you should be taking care of with your money. Think about it. If you can't give 10 cents out of $1 to help someone else, to help a charity, to help a needy family, you're never going to be able to give 100,000 out of a million. So if you start changing your mindset now about how important money is not only to you and your success, but what good you can do to the world by having an abundance of money, money will start to become more attracted to you. You will start to become a more attractive person, and you will bring more abundance into your life. You'll bring the right people into your life, and you will bring the right opportunities to your life. But this cannot be done overnight. It is a discipline that you need to work on, and you need to start when you're broke. And the reason why is because to you, 10 cents might mean nothing. So as you grow, $1 will mean nothing, 100 won't mean anything, 1,000,000 won't mean anything, and soon you'll start to be able to impact the entire world. There's people on this planet who have pledged billions of dollars to give away to people who are in need, and you cannot even give away 100. Think about that. If God wants you to become abundant, He will do so when you're ready and you're able to help other people than just yourself. And that is digging deeper. And now the question of the day. Which one of the 7 principles is the most difficult one to master? For me, it's adding value. The reason why is because I like to get things done quickly, but sometimes we're just not ready because we're not valuable enough just yet. So that's my most difficult principle. Leave it down below. Tell us which principle you feel is the hardest one to master and the one you're going to attack first. Now, if you're enjoying this video and you want to learn more about becoming an investor in real estate, we offer training. If that's the way you choose to become a millionaire, visit us at cultureuniversity.us. And lastly, don't forget, subscribe, comment, share, and hit that notification bell, and you'll be alerted whenever we do any new trainings. Have an excellent day, guys, and I can't wait to see you on the next one. Check you later.